Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 72 of the World of Sports podcast. I'm your host, Diego Sandoval, and joined with me, as always, is my co-host, Logan Ring. Logan, say what's up to the people.
What's up, everybody?
And we've got a very special episode today because we have two guests. This is our MLB special episode, so it's a week before the season starts. We're going to give all of our predictions, our outlooks on the season. And we brought two guests along. We have Alec Cavazos and Brent Hyman. Boys, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Alec Cavazos.
All right. Glad we got that settled. Yeah, we're going to go through. We're going to do all our predictions. We have our division predictions, our division winner predictions, our award winner predictions, and finally our World Series matchup and winner predictions. Before we get started, you can follow us on Instagram, the TWOS podcast. Just hit the link in the bio if you're watching on YouTube, which I recommend for this episode. At least there's 4 of us on the screen this time. If you want to see Alec's face,
Who doesn't?
I know exactly who doesn't. Head on over to YouTube, the World of Sports podcast, and you could see that there. All right, let's get started. The American League. Let's start out in the West. Guess first, Alec, who do you have winning the AL West in 2022?
AL West. I regret to do it, but I'm going with the Astros.
Okay.
I feel like it's the only good team out there. I feel like I was going to go Rangers, but I just don't think they got the potential, even with Corey and Marcus Semien. I don't think so, but.
All right. So we'll go in around, give our picks, and then we'll talk about it after. But no. Those are good notes. But then just we'll discuss.
I'm just gonna head out. Actually,
You know what, Alec? You did a great job. Brent, who you got in the AL West?
I got the Angels.
Wow.
I think that they have disappointed in the past few years, but I think
That's for sure.
this year, I think they're going to try to compete a little bit more than they usually do.
All right. Logan, AL West?
Yeah, I would love for it to be the Angels, but I gotta agree with Alec on this one. I got the Astros too.
All right. And I am going to go with the Mariners winning the American League West in 2022. I really like the Mariners this year. I think the Astros didn't do enough this offseason to kind of offset what the Mariners did this offseason. I guess this will just kickstart the discussion, but the Astros lost Carlos Correa and they didn't bring in anybody too major, in my opinion. And they lost Greinke. I know Greinke wasn't that good, but the Mariners, I really like what they did this offseason. I mean, they brought in Robbie Ray and Alex gone. Good to see that. Robbie Ray won the Cy Young last year, so he's going to come in on Brent's fantasy team. He's going to come in, contribute strikeouts, wins, innings. Traded for Jesse Winker, Eugenio Suarez, and Adam Frazier. I think those are all solid offensive bats this year. And also with that team, yes, Alec, you can go next.
Can I change my answer to the Mariners?
Oh,
you can if you would like.
I'm officially doing that.
Alex rocking with the Mariners too. And then the other thing I really like about the Mariners this year is that they have so many young kind of prospects, options in AAA that they can call up at any point they want that can really help with their depth. They're one of the best farm systems in baseball. I just think they're a team. They're the team that's going to take the biggest leap this year, and I think it'll do enough to make them win the West. Logan, Astros. Talk to me.
I would love for the Mariners to jump them. I just feel like their record last year was a little bit deceiving because I think they scored less runs than their opponents did. They just won by one a bunch of times. And it's a good sign for how good the team is managing everything. And the talent level that they brought in, like you just said, is, it's great for them. They brought in a bunch of guys. So I think it's going to shrink between them and the Astros for sure. I just feel like the talent on the Astros, the experience. They lost Correa. I don't really think losing Greinke is going to change much at all, but I still think that team is really good. I think it's been the last 5 years, they've probably been the best in this division so far. So I'm going to go with them again.
Yeah, it's hard not to pick the the team that's been in the World Series so many times in the last 5 years, or extend it to 6 or 7. I don't really remember. But Brent, Angels, interesting. Let's hear what you have to say about those boys down in Anaheim this season.
You know, they have the best player in baseball, Mike Trout. I feel like no one's ever going to top Mike Trout while he's in baseball, but I feel like he does seem to slightly disappoint every year. He sometimes gets a little injured, or he just doesn't perform at the level that everyone knows he can perform at. But they also have another guy on their team that I think it's a little bit overlooked, by the name of Justin Upton. I feel like this man has been in the MLB for so long, and he has always been okay, like semi okay. But this year he's gonna go off. Trust me. They are, and having who the hell did they get? Noah Syndergaard? Is that who they got?
Yeah.
No one has faith in this man, but I do.
I
Just
just
for the
believe
kids,
you mentioned Justin Upton and not Shohei, by the way.
for the kids at
Okay,
home,
that's just like
Justin
a given.
Justin Upton
That's a
hit
given.
211 last year.
And
And
204 the year before.
He is not top 250 since 2018. I think the Angels are an interesting team for sure. I don't think they have what it takes to win this division, but if
I think they do.
Shohei, Trout, Rendon can stay healthy, they've got a shot at the wild card spot. They I don't know. The Angels are just a weird. Mike Trout will always be Mike Trout if he's healthy. I feel like that's guaranteed. Shohei is going to be one of the more fun guys to watch this year. And I don't know if he can repeat what he did last year, but if he's pitching and hitting and he hits at the same level, it's going to be ridiculous. Yeah, what's up, Brent? You don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
Anthony Rendon is going to put up MVP levels this year. I know
my.
I said that the other year, but this year it's actually going to happen.
Okay.
That's not my MVP pick, but
This guy's an Angels fan.
I hate the Angels.
Anthony Rendon hasn't done anything since he came to the Angels, but he's proven that he's one of the better hitters when he was with the Nationals given. But
Do you remember
Okay.
what I said the other year?
what,
About-
last year?
Yeah,
You said he was going to be the MVP.
because of why?
I don't remember.
When he throws the ball,
Oh, no, it was good analysis. I'll give you that.
He has finished top 3 in MVP voting his career once. So it's not impossible. We just haven't seen it as of late. Alec, you switched.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the Mariners, to be honest. And I was like, I love Jesse Winker. I'm a big Jesse Winker fan.
Jesse Stinker.
I like the Reds. And so he came from the Reds. I totally forgot about them, and I hate the Astros. So I'm just gonna switch it up to the Mariners.
All right.
I think they got good potential. You guys already talked about them a lot since I went last, but I'll agree with everything everybody else said.
That's great. All right. So we got 2 White Sox, 1 Astro, 1 Angel. Let's move on to the American League Central. This could be an interesting division this year. I think the winner's pretty obvious in my opinion. I have the White Sox winning the American League Central. I just think they're one of the most talented teams in baseball. And we could talk about it later. Brent gave it a thumbs down. Brent, who do you have winning the AL Central?
You know who I have winning the AL Central, because my favorite person who's going to be in the MLB this year is on this team, the Tigers. Spencer
Oh
Torkelson.
my.
What?
No,
Go
for it.
Tigers. No, go. What you got?
Miguel Cabrera said he was fine having Spencer Torkelson play first base for him, considering DH and everything. And I think that the Tigers have the best prospect game in all of baseball. And I think this year we are going to be seeing Spencer Torkelson and Riley Green coming up together as a pair. And I think they are going to lead the AL Central, and they're going to be 10 times better than the Guardians.
It's just
I had to throw
unnecessary.
that out there. All right, we'll talk about that later. Logan, who do you have winning the Central?
Yeah, I'll talk about it later too, but I got the White Sox.
All right, Alec.
Ooh.
I got the Twins.
The Twins.
Wow.
Okay. I guess we'll start with Logan and I. We're the commonality here. The White Sox are one of the most talented teams in baseball. They have arguably the best bullpen in the league. You add, you have Liam Hendricks, Craig Kimbrell, and then you add Joe Kelly and Kendall Graveman. That's ridiculous. They have honestly 3 guys in their lineup that could win MVP. You look at Jose Abreu, Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez. If that team stays healthy, Tim Anderson too. I mean, Yohan Moncada, you can keep listing the names. They have so much firepower in that offense. And I feel like this is one of the weaker divisions in Major League Baseball. There are teams on the come up for sure, like the Tigers. I just don't think they're division contenders. But I don't know. I thought this was going to be a unanimous pick. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, I just think the White Sox are the big dogs here.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said everything for that. They're just super well-rounded. Disrespectful for everybody for picking every team except for the Guardians, but it's whatever. But yeah, I mean, the offense, the pitching, the bullpen, they have everything. So I think they're kind of the clear winner in this division.
Yeah. We'll go to Alec with the it was the least blasphemous pick out of you two. The Twins. Let's hear it.
I think I agree. The White Sox are probably the team to beat for sure in this division. Like, I don't think the Tigers or the Guardians or the Royals, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that any of them stand a chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Twins do stand a chance, and so I put it in there as like I figured most people are going to go with the White Sox, so I threw it in as just a little curveball. I think they did pretty good, like fairly good in the off season. And they got Carlos Correa, so that's like probably their best one. They got the 2 Yankee boys that are like, they're decent players.
Yeah.
They can do their thing if they're on one. So I just picked them to not be basic with the White Sox, just a little spice it up. I didn't think that Brent was gonna go with the Tigers, because that's just like ridiculous. Like, I can't think of a single Tigers pitcher that is like good. I don't know.
Your boy, Eduardo Rodriguez.
Who's that?
He played on your Red Sox last year. He was
Michael Pineda is now.
Oh, yeah, okay. I don't care about Red Sox pitchers. But I really only care about Kike at this point. So yeah, I don't know.
I like what the Twins did this offseason. I think that they catered to what their organization needed. They brought in Sonny Gray, but that's a very pitcher friendly ballpark. And I felt like they went and got hitters, because in pitcher friendly ballparks, all right pitchers can do decent. So if you go get hitters, it'll obviously fare well for you at home. I think that they have a chance. I think they finished 2 in this division.
Well, yeah, they're not going to be like, no one else is going to do better than them, I don't think.
Yeah,
I think the White Sox are definitely the team to beat in this division for sure. But I just like the Twins have. I'd like to see them beat the White Sox. Just for the hell of it, just to disappoint people.
Byron Buxton, if he stays healthy, is another guy that could be an MVP candidate. Brent, Logan, you guys have anything to say on the Twins before we get to Brent's great pick?
No, I mean, it would be exciting for them to be better, but I just don't really see them beating the White Sox at all.
Yeah.
What's that movie about the Twins?
Where the kid is the owner?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but that's a pretty good movie.
That's the last time they were semi-decent.
Speaking of, it's been a while since they've been semi-decent. Let's talk about the Detroit Tigers. Who you think will win the division? Is this solely based on the 2 prospects that you think are?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I want to jump back in time real quick for a second.
Let's do it.
Do you remember the days when it was always the Tigers and the Royals?
Absolutely.
When that was a big rivalry. That was like that division.
Yeah, like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I feel like that is going to be coming back in a second, but not with the Royals. I feel like it's going to be a Tigers White Sox like run for who wins this. But the Tigers did make a very big acquisition this offseason,
They did.
and that is their shortstop, Javier Baez. I think he was definitely, while on the Cubs, in the spotlight of being a top 3 shortstop in all of baseball for sure. But I think
for like one season, but yeah.
I think when he got traded though from the Cubs, he did lose a little bit of significance, and I don't think he was very happy with that. And I think he knew that. But I think now being on the Tigers, I think he is going to be working very hard to get a postseason spot with this team. Also, they got that center fielder. I don't not know how to say his name. Akil Babu.
Akil
Akil
Babu.
He's on my team. I drafted him last night.
Dude, he is good. He is good. You guys can't deny that.
No, okay. Did you have more to say on the Tigers?
I do actually.
Oh, here we go. Let's keep going. Let's roll.
Tucker Barnhart.
Sure.
That is a very solid catcher right there, and I just think that they do not have like any like huge names of baseball anymore, besides like Miguel Cabrera, but like that's a given. But I think they have a lot of younger talent that is going to really bring this team together this year, and they're actually going to put up a fight. That's why I think the Tigers, and they're going to have Spencer Torkelson. You know, that's
all right. Logan,
Like
you seemed pretty disgusted when you
No.
first heard it.
Oh, okay. I was disgusted about the Javi Baez being a top 3 shortstop. Yes, for 1
In
year.
2016.
Yeah. He's not that anymore. But
Yeah, he is.
hey, I mean, you know, your reasoning for the Tigers being good, I loved it. So we'll see, Brent. I like the pick.
Brent,
I'm confident.
I 100% agree with you that we're going to see this division become Tigers White Sox. I think it's 2 years out. I think that the Tigers still have some prospects that come up, but I do really like what the Tigers are doing in their organization. And I really like that they're going to bring up Torkelson and Riley Green to start the season. I feel like MLB teams just need to start doing that at this point because it's BS when you start manipulating their service time. No, but I definitely agree that the Tigers are going to be a team that puts up a fight this year. I think it's going to be them and the Twins neck and neck for second place in this division.
Oh,
You know,
I disagree.
You know,
I disagree.
well, yeah, you think they're finishing first
Because they are going to finish first. There's no way. There's no way the White Sox are just not.
They're not.
I am not a White Sox fan, and that does not play into this at all.
Is there anything? But you don't remember your analysis last year of Tim Anderson saying he hits the ball good?
That is true. That is very true. I like Tim Anderson, but I don't like anyone else on that team besides Joe Kelly. Respect, but
you don't have to like them for them to be good still, though. That's the thing.
I don't think they're good. I don't like them, and I don't think
they finished 13 games above any other team last year.
You know, that was luck. Pure luck.
All right. We'll see if it was pure luck this year.
The balls are going to be different this season.
Maybe. We don't know.
For everyone.
Yeah, but it's only going to affect them.
Let's move on. Let's move on to the best division in baseball, the American League East. 4 out of 5 of these teams could genuinely make the playoffs. I'm sorry, Orioles. Brent, you could go out and pick the Orioles right now. But let's start with Brent. Brent, who do you have winning this division?
You know, it seems like I feel like the given is the Yankees just because it's like the Yankees. But I'm actually going to go with is this the right division that we're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the Blue Jays.
All right.
I think they have so much talent on that team. I'll get into it more later, but Bo Bichette is an absolute tank. And with their them picking up like Springer, I mean, I don't like Springer, but he's good. He's going to play well. But I'll leave it at that for now.
Alec, who you got in this division?
Give me 1 second. Hold on. Let's get it.
Guy's gonna pick the Red Sox.
He's gonna go get his like Red Sox jersey. Red Sox. Yep.
I'm gonna go with the Red Sox here. Actually, I think they're a great team. I see the Blue Jays. You know, the Blue Jays, stellar team. You both are probably also gonna go Blue Jays, maybe. But I just think Red Sox are a great team. Yankees don't stand a chance. Orioles don't stand a chance. Rays are up there, but Red Sox all the way, hometown.
All right. I am also going to go with the Blue Jays. I agree with Brent. I just think it's such a talented team, and we'll talk about it more. I got the Blue Jays. I really like them this year. Logan?
Yeah, I made the mistake of picking the Yankees last year to actually lose in the World Series. They did not get that far. So I'm going with the Blue Jays. I think it's the right pick.
And we'll start with you, Logan. Let's start with Alec, because he's got the difference. The rest of us have the Blue Jays. What do you like about your Red Sox this season?
Well, yeah, I'm a Red Sox guy.
Right.
Dodgers first, so nobody comes at me. But if I'm talking AL, going to Red Sox all the way. I do wish that they'd re-sign Kyle Schwarber. I think he was a good bat in their lineup. But what I go back to is Kike. Kike is going to go off this year. I can feel it. He had about 5 games in a row that he led off a game with a home run. So I think, if he can keep that up. They got some great young prospects. I've been watching their spring training. A lot of them are doing pretty good. I like Jaron Duran. I know he didn't do very good last year in any games that he played in, but I like Jaron Duran for his style, his way he goes about things. And I think they still got some solid players. I mean, they got Devers, Story, Bogarts, Dugo. Pitching is, I'd say, decent. They got some good ones in there. Chris Sale is always hurt, so I don't know how much of a factor he's going to be, but I'm going to go Red Sox, even though Blue Jays are going to be a tough team to beat.
Yeah, I like the Red Sox this year. I'm not going to pick them to necessarily obviously win the division, but that pitching scares me a little bit. You mentioned Jaron Duran. I mean, Jeter Downs, Bobby Dalbec, they have some good prospects and good young guys to go along with the already pretty solid offensive lineup. It's just the pitchers is what kind of pushes me away from the Red Sox. But like I said, 4 out of 5 of these teams could make the playoffs this year. The Blue Jays, Brent, Logan, you two and we all picked the Blue Jays. Logan, what are your thoughts on Toronto this season?
I just really like their young core and then their mix of solid veterans on this team. They lost a couple key guys, but I mean, yeah, Robbie Ray was great for them. I think his Cy Young year, he wouldn't have been able to completely replicate, but he was really good. They re-signed Jose Barrios to a bigger deal. They need to get more pitching, and they got some. Kevin, do you say Kevin Gausman? Gausman. He's good. I feel like if you had to replace Robbie Ray, he was solid for that. But it's really the young core of guys that I like the most. You got Vlad, Kevin Biggio. I mean, their infield is just insane. And I don't know. I just think they're a really fun team that's also really good. They hit a lot of home runs. They're exciting. And they're only going to get better. So I like them.
Yeah.
Right? You agree?
They got someone huge.
Okay.
Mr. Chapman.
Yeah. I love that pickup.
I think that was pretty big for them. I think they had a lot of good talent, but adding who they did this offseason, I think, is what is going to push them to a World Series. I think that what they got is what's going to help them get there.
Yeah, I completely agree with both of you. Logan mentioned the pitching, brought in Kevin Gausman. You say Kikuchi also from the Mariners. He's a solid arm. I think Matt Chapman, honestly, is a guy that can go out and hit 35, 40 home runs this season, moving from Oakland, one of the most pitcher-friendly parks in baseball, to Toronto, which is pretty solid for hitters. And he's also the best defensive third baseman. You could even argue the best defensive player in baseball. I think Vlad's going to compete for an MVP. Teoscar Hernandez even could compete for an MVP. George Springer, if he stays healthy, is one of the best leadoff hitters in all of baseball. Yeah, I just think the Blue Jays are going to be a really fun team this year. And I think they addressed their main issue from last season in that pitching. And they got a couple arms to kind of fill in rotation spots. And honestly, you're not going to need too much. Obviously, there's going to be games just because it's baseball. There's going to be games where you need to get into pitchers duels. But with that offense, you can survive with maybe a, mid to high average pitching rotation.
Is Ryu still healthy?
Yeah, he'll be there too. I mean, he hasn't been
Better
his.
be.
Yeah, he was, Cy Young caliber in 2020. Again, it's kind of a weird year to determine things like that, but he's shown that he can throw. And then Barrios is the top of that rotation. Should be pretty solid. Moving to the National League, let's start out in the West. I have the Dodgers. It's the most talented lineup I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I feel like it's been talked about enough.
Yeah. Dodgers.
Are we all disagreeing?
Yeah, this will be a fun conversation with me and then 3 Dodgers fans. Alec, you just switching up the hats. Doesn't even know who Red Sox pitchers are, but hey, it's whatever.
I'm Dodgers,
Yeah, I'm guessing we're all Dodgers.
Yeah.
You guys can talk later. I'm just gonna say I think this team is absolutely insane. Like, they keep getting better. They got Freddie Freeman. They lost a couple pieces, but doesn't matter. They got 12 other all-stars on this team. So I don't know who's beating this team.
Yeah, the entire starting 9 could be on the all-star team this year, which is pretty ridiculous. Again, who knows what's going to happen? I think Cody Bellinger needs to step up, but he's a Gold Glove outfielder. In terms of the offseason, they picked up some arms. They picked up Tyler Anderson, Andrew Heaney. They brought back Kershaw. And then they signed that guy named Freddie Freeman. The offense obviously isn't going to be the problem for the Dodgers this year. I think the main thing that worries me slightly is the back end of that starting rotation. The kind of 4 or 5 pitchers. They're not really set. Tony Gonsolin will probably be one of those guys. Dustin May should be back by the kind of all-star break, I think is what they're aiming for after Tommy John last year. But yeah, I just think this is the most talented team in all of baseball. Alec, Brent.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, I think the back end of the pitching is definitely where it's iffy. I think their bullpen is still, even though they lost Kelly and Jansen, I think it's still got their powerhouses in there. I think after the trade deadline, they'll be a good team because for sure, I think once Dustin May's back, that adds another arm in there to solidify. Because I think Tony Gonsolin is fine for a starter. And then also, might be a hot take or just what I think they should do. I think they should trade Gavin Lux and somebody else at the All-Star break for a pitcher, another pitcher to throw into the lineup that's not Tony Gonsolin or whoever else they have. Because I think if they get one more solid pitcher, or if Trevor Bauer comes back, I'm not sure where that's going to go.
He's coming back.
But
Fred's favorite player.
I think
I drafted him.
I know you did.
That was it could pay off. I think the only team that might be troublesome is the Giants again. I don't think the Padres are gonna live up to the hype again. I don't know, but the Giants did add Rodon and Jock Peterson, who is, a threat most of the time, but sometimes just gonna strike out. That's about it. But I'm sticking with the Dodgers here.
Yeah, I think if they can't find Gavin Lux consistent at bats, I think this is the season to trade him because his value will keep going down if he just keeps getting older and he's not playing that much. So I like that, but again, we'll see what the rotation looks like come opening day and come maybe the Trevor Bauer decision. Brent, anything you have to say that's not maybe Trevor Bauer centrist?
Oh.
No.
Well, there goes all his ideas.
No, There's something I do want to talk about. When we got rid of Scherzer, I was thinking,
When he left in free agency, yeah.
yeah, I was thinking, wow, this is not going to be. I mean, obviously, we still have some stacked players on our we're stacked, but
Yeah.
there's one person I didn't even know he got traded to the Dodgers until I saw him make this one play in right field,
Oh my god.
and that is Kevin Pillar.
Oh my god.
Out of
Dude.
everyone in this Dodgers lineup.
Dude, no, hear me out. You
I
guys,
mean, I'd
we've
go
already
Kevin
talked-
Pillar in the outfield.
We've already talked about Freeman. Turner obviously is going to be. He is always decent. He's always usually pretty good, actually.
Decent. Justin Turner is really good.
I know, but sometimes you remember he got hurt, and then he got
He's getting
COVID,
old.
and
He'll
then he went
probably
on the
DH a little
field,
bit.
and then yeah, exactly. But I think Kevin Pillar is just one of those utility players that we didn't have. We have Chris Taylor, who is super utility man, but to have two of those with Kevin Pillar, I think is kind of insane. I don't know. I just feel like he has always been you always hear about him. You always hear about Kevin Pillar.
Or has been pulling out
I
some
mean,
names.
He
I don't know if you always hear about him.
Dude, every
you hear about him
season
when he
you hear-
makes good catches. I don't think I've really
Dude,
heard about him in
He
the
has
past
some
2
highlight catches
seasons.
every year.
Dude, think about it.
But-
I mean, Bellinger is good in the outfield, but to have that option to have Pillar out there too is
it's gonna be tough to find him playing time, considering the Dodgers 3 outfielders right now are all former Gold Glove winners already. Pollock, Bellinger, and Betts are all really good in the field, and you could throw Pillar out there. It's just he's not a very good hitter, so
just
it's
DH.
I mean, I would.
but then
maybe
you'll have the
start
pitcher
him-
hit.
Dude, yeah.
Julio hit.
Kershaw, he's gonna just fucking lay a couple down, yeah.
I would almost start Pillar
Oh.
over Bellinger just to start the season and get it into Bellinger's head that he fucking.
I wanted to get
You
ask
know,
a question though,
like
about
right.
someone.
Okay.
What are your guys' opinions on Tatis since we're in this division right now?
He's
What,
hurt.
just as a player?
Just everything about him, yeah.
He's a phenomenal player, best shortstop in the league when healthy, but he can't stay healthy, and that's just how it sucks because his injuries have been shoulder and now wrist, and those aren't good injuries to have in baseball. He seems like he doesn't want surgery for some reason. He wants to just keep playing through it. Isn't a good idea. He just got to stay on the field.
Yeah.
How did he get hurt? Golf cart? Motorcycle? What was
Riding a motorcycle.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, I also agree with. I'm not with what Alex said earlier. I don't really like what the Padres did this offseason. I feel like they didn't bring in anybody substantial.
No, they got who from the Yankees? What's that guy's name?
They got Luke Voigt, but
Yeah.
okay, he's gonna hit maybe 240 and hit 30 bombs. But I think you needed to get some type of guy after you, especially with the Dodgers getting Freddie Freeman. That this division's pretty much already closed on them. But and then the Giants.
Machado is gonna go off.
Manny Machado, you think? Could.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's move on to the National League Central. Pretty interesting division outlook this year. We'll start with you, Alec. Who do you have in the NL Central?
I got the Cardinals.
All right. Logan,
I got the Brewers for this one.
Brent, NL Central.
Yeah.
Looking at the teams.
This is the one I didn't know. This is I didn't know what I wanted to pick.
Uh-huh.
Pirates.
No. Yeah, Brewers. Brewers or Cardinals? I mean, Cardinals got some good. I'm gonna go Brewers. Brewers, definitely.
Brewers. I am also going with the Brewers. We'll all gang up on you first, Alec, and then you can defend yourself. The Brewers have one of the best, if not the best, rotations in baseball. Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff were Cy Young candidates last year. Burns won it. Freddie Peralta's really good. This offseason, they went out they traded for Hunter Renfroe. He hits bombs. He's some good power in the middle of that lineup. And the offense should do all right, but I just can't bet against this pitching staff.
Yeah, I was disrespectful towards the Brewers. I think a week ago I couldn't even name like 3 of their pitchers.
Damn.
But they are insane. And then the offense, I mean, it's solid, like you said. It's not the greatest, but who cares if your pitching is that good? And Christian Yelich was awful last season. I don't know if he's going to be better, but the fact that he was not good and the Brewers were still able to win so many games, I think it's a good sign. But yeah, I feel like their pitching is going to carry them.
Brent, I know it was kind of a buzzer beater decision for you to pick the Brewers. Any reason?
They have a pitcher on their team who I have liked ever since I found out about this man. He did really good one season, and then he just went terrible. His name is Josh Hader.
Wait a sec. No. That's disrespectful to say he did terrible after one season.
Okay, you know exactly what I'm talking about, though. He had a really okay. And the only reason I'm going to say this is because he was on my fantasy team, and he did really good for me one season, and then the next season I was like, why is this man? I dropped him.
Last year,
not last year, the year before that.
I know, but last year he had the best season of his career, arguably.
Maybe it went like down and then up and down.
No,
he's
1.23 ERA.
He struggled in 2020, but
he was hurt last season.
Okay. He pitched
really.
58 innings still.
He had 34 saves.
Kenley probably had more.
Well, you hate Kenley.
I don't like Kenley either. But.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Josh Hader's very good. That bullpen's very good. I like. Okay, Brent, I agree.
Brent, I thought you would like Josh Hader considering things.
Considering his tweet history.
I do like him. I just okay. There's no pitcher, relief pitcher, anything in baseball that I feel confident with. Like, I just don't feel confident with any of them. I think
how relief pitchers are, though.
No, I think Kenley Jansen.
They're all going to lose
me to have some trust issues.
Kenley Jansen is one of the greatest closers in MLB history.
Doesn't he have like a heart murmur or something?
Oh, yes, but that's not. That should have no impact on how you feel about his performance.
Okay, all I'm saying is every time I watch Kenley Jansen pitch, I have to hold my breath because.
Hey, Brett, you want to know something? That's every closer ever.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They're throwing in 1 to 2 run games in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Okay, dude. There has just been so many. Like, I know we're not even like, I don't know why we're talking about Kenley Jansen right now, but I'm going to talk about him. He just got traded.
He signed.
It's not traded.
You remember? Whatever. He was whatever. Yeah. Do you remember that one game against the Padres? He just started walking behind the mound, and then the dude stole home to win the game.
Yeah, and do you remember that season when he had 40 saves?
You remember when he couldn't go to Colorado because the elevation was too high?
I know, Diego. His performance, but his heart murmur. So that's it. There you go.
How do you have someone on your team? You can't even bring him to all the games.
Oh my god!
I know he's good, but like he scares me, dude.
Is that like eight games a season or something?
Yeah,
I have never.
Not anymore of the Braves.
Oh my god.
What's the elevation in that land?
It's not Colorado. Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe we'll talk about Kenley Jansen in the next division. But
when we get there.
Alec, why the Cardinals? They're the second place team for me, but why the Cardinals?
I like them better than the Brewers, mainly. I would usually go for the Reds because I love the Reds. I put my trust into the Reds. They had great hitters and they had great players, and now they're basically all gone. So they were out of the running for me. But I went Cardinals just because I guess really I just like them better than the Brewers. And I'm just gonna touch on something we brought up, Hunter Renfroe being traded. Yeah. And to take this back to the Red Sox, I don't know what they were doing
for Jackie Bradley Jr.
Jackie Bradley Jr. Like, okay, maybe like fan favorite, but like he's not that good. At least not as good as Hunter Renfroe. Like Hunter Renfroe had like he led the league in put outs from the outfield or whatever assists. So I think that, you know, him going to the Brewers definitely adds to them because they didn't have a lot of super big power bats in my mind. They've got, you know, Christian Yelich is decent. Lorenzo Cain, obviously decent. But I just wanted to kind of like my Twins. I just wanted to throw that, you know, second place in there just to get the mix in.
Yeah, all right, for sure. Let's move on. But I also do think NL Central's a 2-team race this year. I think it's Cardinals and Brewers. Cubs don't really have much talent left. The Reds, neither do they, and the Pirates are in full rebuild. The NL East, I think, is also could rival the AL East for one of the best divisions in baseball. I don't think it tops it, but Brent,
I want to go first.
Okay. Like you got Braves, Mets, Phillies. I think those will be the three kind of contenders in this division. Nationals, Marlins also aren't bad teams. They're solid teams also. Since Brent requested, who is your pick to win the National League East?
The Phillies.
Okay. Logan, who you got for the NL East? We'll circle back.
I'm going with the Mets on this one.
I'm going with the Braves.
I'm going with Mets with Logan.
Three different ones. I like it.
All right. I guess I'll start with the Braves. They lost Freddie Freeman this offseason, but I think they got better as a team overall. They just won the World Series, and I feel like too many people are considering it as like a write-off almost. Like, oh yeah, one and done.
Mickey Mouse win.
Do you know when the Dodgers won?
So they lost Freddie Freeman, but they brought in Matt Olson, who has arguably been a better first baseman for the past 3 seasons. I understand what Freddie did with that organization and with the clubhouse, but if you're talking strictly baseball, Matt Olson might be a little bit better and younger. They brought in Kenley Jansen and Kirby Yates, and if it's not the White Sox, they have the best bullpen in baseball. Brought Eddie Rosario back, who just tore everyone apart in the postseason last year. This team is very good. They won the World Series last year, and they didn't have Ronald Acuna or Marcell Ozuna, and they're getting both of them back. Ozuna by opening day, and Acuna probably, I think it's like a month into the season. This is a very talented team. You just look at their lineup. Travis d'Arnaud, just going around. You go Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Dansby Swanson, Austin Riley. Then you put Acuna and Rosario and Ozuna in the outfield. That is a very good team. I really like the Braves this year. I think they're getting a bit overlooked. Granted, the Mets made phenomenal moves this offseason. I think they won the offseason, but I think the Braves got better after winning a World Series this year. Let's go with Brent, and then we'll have the two Mets guys go last. Brent, Phillies, let's hear it. They made some moves this offseason.
The Phillies. I mean, we can always talk. There's not enough things to say about Bryce Harper. I mean, that man works his ass off, plays really hard,
plays the game the right way. You know,
he does play the game the right way.
Oh no,
kind of.
All right, let's go.
But they got someone I have been a fan with ever since this man came up.
I love your build. I love your build up to your.
Who's it gonna
Everyone
be?
is the same way.
Who's it gonna be?
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know exactly who he's talking about.
Mr. Schwarber.
I didn't think that's who you were talking about.
Who do you think I was talking about?
I thought you were talking about Nicholas Castellanos.
Yeah.
I did too.
No, I'm getting there. All right. Okay, Kyle Schwarber. I feel like him and Harper being on the same team is just like a duo pair. Like both can hit for power. And this spring training, they have both been playing pretty decently. I do say so myself. And then with the pickup of Nick Castellanos, I feel like that is just a solid get right there. I feel like the Phillies, they haven't had like a good solid amount of like good named people on their team since
Shane Victorino,
Ryan Howard, Chase Sutton.
Yeah, those days. But I feel like this is like the first time that you like can think of the Phillies and actually be like, they have some decent people on their team this year. And I'm excited to watch them play. And they also got Corey Knebel.
Yeah,
From-
they
I
definitely
think that's
needed
a good
bullpen
asset.
help.
Yep.
As long as Nick Castellanos doesn't have to see the outfield because he is
Yeah.
terrible out there.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I like the moves the Phillies made, but like I said, this division's pretty stacked.
Moniak.
And I think right now, I don't know who it's either the Braves or Moniak. It's either the Braves or the Mets who are favorited. But Alec and Logan, give me your Mets rundown.
The Mets I think they got the two best starting pitchers, I'd say. Definitely with
not ridiculous.
DeGrom and Scherzer, I think is up there. I think they kind of lack in some of their offense, as they have for a while now. But hopefully with Scherzer, I think they can make some good money moves there. I can't think of any of their hitters and position players right now.
Logan,
so I'll let Logan
can
talk
start
about
last then.
that.
I agree with you with their offensive production, I guess, has been pretty bad, but the names they've got and the talent that they've had have been really good. It just has not worked. And I feel like they just got a lot deeper. They got Starling Marte, Mark Canha, and Eduardo Escobar. Those three guys are good acquisitions. Frankie Lindor was terrible last year, but he's got a whole lot of talent. I love that man. I think he's going to do better. Pete Alonso. I mean, they've got some good hitters, and I think those two pitchers, they just got to stay healthy. I'm not really worried about Max Scherzer too much, but Jacob deGrom has been pretty injured his last few years, especially last season, where I think he had like one of the best pitching seasons ever, but he only played like 15 games. If those two stay healthy, that's like, okay, well, actually, no, it's the Mets, so it's not guaranteed wins because even Jacob deGrom loses. But I mean, it's going to be really, really hard to beat that team if you have to play a series with two of those guys pitching. But I just really like what they did. They're spending a whole lot of money, and they keep doing that. But I said this last year. I think this year is the year.
This Braves disrespect.
I like the Braves too, but I mean, I don't know. I think if you look on paper, the Mets are better, but I agree with the Braves. They just get it done, and the Mets don't. So,
Brent,
I don't know.
I made this clear. You can just speak.
I just want to point out this notification that MLB just sent me, and it says, "What a play! Phillies infield working as a strong unit."
Don't the Phillies have like the worst defense in the league or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
We got our divisions. Now let's
wait. Real quick, where is Schwarber gonna play?
Left.
Is he gonna DH? He's gonna left.
Castellanos or DH.
Do you trust him in the outfield more than Castellanos?
Absolutely,
yes,
dude. Castellanos
he might
is
break
so
his
bad.
knee again, but like.
Yeah, you put Schwarber in left, Harper in right, and
that
Moniak.
Harper's good.
Yeah,
but that defense is gonna be rough.
Fantasy team.
Yeah.
Congrats.
So those are our division winners. We had some differences. It's good. Let's move on to the awards. Let's pound these out. NL Rookie of the Year. Logan, let's start with you.
I got Adley Rutschman.
That's
here.
That's AL.
That's AL.
I think I picked two AL. Can you come back to me?
Yeah, we'll come back to you. I'll start. For National League Rookie of the Year, I got Joey Bart of the San Francisco Giants. I think he's going to come up and start immediately in the big leagues, which is a big boost for Rookie of the Year. It's obviously a huge hole without Buster Posey. You got to fill. Joey Bart has only played 60. He only has 67 at bats in AAA, but in those 67, he has 10 homers and a 360 on base percentage. He's also just a beast. He's a great catcher. And I think he's going to get a lot of opportunity with the Giants. They don't have another catcher besides him. Former top prospect. I just really like him this year. Alec, National League Rookie of the Year.
Wow, so that's a good pick that you got there.
Thanks, man.
And as we talked before we started this, I don't know too much about the youngsters coming up,
Mhm.
so I based all my guesses basically off that will be the show.
Hey, that's all good.
And as we discussed, I'm going Edward Cabrera. Just because I literally couldn't think of anyone else from the NL that was going to be a rookie. But Joey Bart is definitely a good one, especially because there's no one else in that role. You know, I feel like for a pitcher to be the rookie of the year, I personally can't think of many others. That just could because I don't pay attention that much to the rookies. But I'm gonna go with him. I think he's got a good chance.
Yeah, I like that. As long as he gets the innings, it's tough with rookie pitchers because a lot of times they're on innings limits. But Cabrera pitched a little bit in the majors last year, so he definitely could get the innings needed. Brent, NL Rookie of the Year. Just nuggets.
I don't even know who this man is. This is the only National League guy I could find on the internet. Brendan Davis.
Brendan Davis. What team is he playing? Brendan Davis.
The Chicago Cubs.
All right. I don't know much about him.
Of course.
He's gonna do really good this year.
Okay.
Really good.
I like the confidence.
Yeah, as long as you're confident.
I'm not.
I can tell you right now, Brendan Davis is at plus 2,500 odds.
Hey, put some money on it,
Hey,
Brent.
you could throw some money on it. Just for reference, Joey Bart's plus 800 and Eduardo Cabrera's plus 1,800.
What was mine?
2,500.
Is that the largest one?
No. Logan, who you got? NL Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, obviously I've done a lot of research on this guy. I'm gonna go with Bryson Stott for the Phillies.
I love him.
Yeah, I think that the Phillies kind of have a middle infield that they could switch around a little bit, and I think he's gonna get some playing time. He looks like he's a solid defender too, so I think the Phillies are gonna like that. Maybe he's playing in spring training right now. Maybe that was the notification Brent got. I don't know, but he's been hitting well in AAA. He's been in the minors for a bit now. And I mean, he was consistently batting around 300 and an OPS of like 880. I mean, that's pretty solid. So, I mean, he's
what?
But yeah, I mean, I think I'm just gonna throw his name out there because he seems like a guy who could do something.
Yeah, I hope we see him up in the bigs soon. It's unsure whether he'll be up immediately or if they'll wait and manipulate his service time. A couple other names: O'Neal Cruz of the Pirates. He's phenomenal. He's a 6'7" shortstop. He's really good. Seiya Suzuki from the Cubs. He's coming over from Japan. He qualifies. He's 27, and he's.
I was gonna ask if he's able to be a rookie.
Yeah,
I
is.
I didn't know how that worked, but.
Yeah, those are a couple other names that could contend right away. American League Rookie of the Year. Yeah, Brent, you can go first because I know you feel very strongly about this guy.
Okay.
You're not going to say his name.
His name is Spencer Torkelson. He's the best baseball player to ever walk this face of this planet. He's really good, and there's also this other guy named Riley Green, but he's not as good as Spencer Torkelson. But I had a class with Spencer Torkelson. He didn't talk to me, but we had a class together, and
I did too for a day.
Yeah, I didn't know you were in my class, Logan.
I didn't know you were in my class.
But he did sit kind of close to me, so we're like pretty good friends.
Wow.
And I think he's really good at baseball.
Nice. He is very good at baseball, and it's a great pick because he'll be up with the Tigers immediately, making an impact. I think.
I know he's gonna shout me out on his Instagram.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Logan, AL Rookie of the Year pick.
Yeah, I got Spencer Torkelson too. I think Brent was more passionate about this, but I still agree with it. And his analysis was always top notch, and it was again in this one. So yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna get the opportunity, and he seems like a pretty good player. So I like it.
Alec, American League Rookie of the Year.
I'm gonna go with Logan's former NL pick, Adley Rutschman. I think he's got a
What team is he on?
He's on the Orioles.
Orioles. He
Okay.
was a former number one prospect last year. Bobby Witt took that over, which is respectable. But I think Ali Rutschman is got it, and I'm really hoping he does good because he is on my fantasy team. So
That's a great pick. I think he gets a lot of ABs with the Orioles this year. I'm going to go with the current number one overall prospect, Bobby Witt Jr.
My fantasy team.
Shortstop for the Royals. He is just a monster. He is such a good hitter. And he should, I mean, with the Royals, they should call him up and he should be up, if not by opening day, very soon. He just rakes. He's very good. Yeah, but I mean, Torkelson, Rutschman, Witt, I think those are the top three guys as of right now for Rookie of the Year in the American League. So you can't be mad at any of those picks. Let's move on to Cy Young. Let's start in the National League. Alec, who is your NL Cy Young Award
I
winner?
got Walker Buehler. I think he did great last year. I think he's only going to step it up. He's technically, I guess you could argue that he's now the Dodgers ace.
Yeah, I'd say he is.
Kershaw's still the guy, but I think Buehler's the guy going forward. I think he's gonna put up some good numbers this year. I wouldn't say he was necessarily fully cheated out of the Cy Young last year, but I think he definitely deserved to be higher up in the race than I think he was. But I think this year he's gonna go off because I don't know about DeGrom and Scherzer, man. They're not that good. So
You just called them the two best pitchers in baseball. I'll step in because I also have Walker Buehler winning it. I think one of the things that they look at a lot, he's going to rack up a lot of wins on a great team. He led the league in games started last year, and he should see another bulk of innings. The one thing, his pitch count sometimes gets a little high where he has to get pulled in the fifth a lot of times, which isn't a good sign. But like you said, he's getting better. He's still young. And for pitchers, the prime of your career is a couple of years after, like older than how old Buehler is right now. And he's already pitching like he's in the prime. He's finished top 10 in Cy Young in 2021 and 2019. He's just a monster. As long as he keeps his strikeouts up above 200, hovering maybe 220 if possible, I think he's a prime candidate this year. Being with his age, he can improve. And yeah, I think the other guys have a bit of question marks around them. Corbin Burns obviously won it last year. Can he repeat? DeGrom's health, even Scherzer's health at this point in his career. We saw it in the postseason. His arm kind of shut down and he couldn't throw in game 6, which the Dodgers or game 5, which the Dodgers ended up losing, or 6. Yeah, I really like Buehler this year. I think he'll be the ace of one of the best, if not the best teams in baseball. Logan, Brent, what we got?
Buehler.
All right.
I got DeGrom. I think the one thing holding him back is health, and that's a big question mark. But I mean, if you look at his seasons, other than the shortened one where everybody didn't play a lot of games, obviously, from 2019 to 2017, he was just healthy the entire year.
that
And
was weird.
huh?
You said from 2019 to 2017. That's just a weird way to put it, but
From 2017 to 2019, he was healthy the entire time. So yeah, it's the question mark of him being healthy. But other than that, I mean, he's clearly the best pitcher in the league. Last season, he had an ERA of 1.08. And he started 15 games and still was 9th in Cy Young voting. He's got a chance of being one of the best. Well, he already is one of the best pitchers in MLB history, considering what he's already accomplished. And yeah, he's going to be 34, which, yes, he's getting up there, but we've seen pitchers go a lot later in their career than other position players. And I think he's just the best pitcher in the league. And if he stays healthy, I think he's got a really good shot.
Yeah, there's no doubting that. Moving on to the American League. With my pick, I was really surprised when I saw that this guy hadn't won one yet. And I think it's about time that he does. I think he has his season. I'm going to pick Garrett Cole. I just think he racks up strikeouts, and as long as he can keep his ERA in check, the sticky stuff situation was he kind of got a lot of flack for it when it actually happened to most pitchers in baseball. And I'm not the biggest like Garrett Cole fan, but I do think that he's getting kind of undervalued a bit too much because of that sticky stuff. He's still a top 3 pitcher in baseball, no matter how you cut it. Kind of similar to Bueller, going to be on a good team. He's going to get wins, and there's no doubting he's going to strike out probably the most guys in baseball this season. It happens every year. I think this is the year Garrett Cole gets his Cy Young. Let's go back to Logan. What do you have for this one?
I don't care. I'm doing it. I'm going with Shane Bieber. He had his insane 2020 season.
Mickey Mouse Cy Young.
Mouse World Series for the Dodgers. And he's been, the last 3 years, he's been a really good pitcher. You can look at 2020 and yeah, that was his main one, but he's still got insane stuff. He strikes out a whole lot of guys. He pitches a ton of innings. The wins are one thing that's going to be interesting to look at because I don't know how good the Guardians are going to be. But we'll see. I think Shane Bieber still has a really good shot, and I got to do it for one of my picks. So yeah, I like it.
Brent, AL Cy Young, give it to me.
I'm gonna go with Garrett Cole. I think I was surprised too. He hasn't won one yet. But I think he's just so raw. He's always good. But I think this is the year he'll win one.
He is raw. I agree. Alec, AL Cy Young.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the repeat Robbie Ray. I think he's gonna. I didn't pay much attention to him, but I think what he did last year was just. Obviously he won, so he's better than all the other pitchers. So I'm just gonna go with him again. I want to see him carve up those Astros a lot this year, being in the West now. So I'm gonna go with Robbie Ray.
Yeah, Robbie Ray always had the stuff. It's just, could he get the command down? And he got it down last year, so he could definitely just keep dominating this season with the Mariners. I like it. A little bit of difference there. Let's move on to the most valuable player starting in the National League. Logan, who you got?
I'm going Jose Ramirez.
National League, bro. National League. Dude.
I'm going Juan Soto.
How do you have this guy on your podcast every time?
Dude, I don't know. Doesn't know what
you guys are making me nervous, okay?
We started with the National League every time.
Hey, I don't know. I was excited to say his name. Juan Soto, I picked him last year. He finished second. But he's one of the best hitters in baseball, and I think it's getting kind of overlooked. He's so young, and he's already this good. In 2020, he led the league in like everything. And then in 2021, he had the highest on base percentage, most walks. His, he just, important. I love the Soto shuffle. It's amazing. I just love watching him play. He can hit oppo. He does everything. His defense is fine. It's whatever. But his offense is just fun to watch, and he's a young, exciting player. He finished second last year, fifth the year before, and ninth the year before. It's been going up. There's only one position left, and that's first. So
third.
Going with Juan Soto.
I'm going to piggyback that. I also picked Juan Soto. You said he was one of the best hitters. I believe he is the best hitter in baseball. Dude, he gets on base 46% of the time. That's ridiculous. You're almost getting on base half the time you're up. If that's not an MVP, I don't know what is. Yeah, he's just the purest hitter. He's so good. What, Brent? Why are you laughing? The power is also there for Soto. He'll hit 30 home runs. The only thing might be holding him back is how good his team's going to be. But Ohtani and Bryce Harper won it last year. Neither team made the playoffs, so I guess that doesn't really matter. But yeah, Juan Soto is the best hitter in baseball. Brent, let's hear what you're laughing about. Who you got?
I got Mookie Betts. I think
Okay.
there's absolutely nothing bad to say about Mookie Betts. He gets on base. He's fast. He's incredible. On the field, insane hitter. I think he's a leader. No matter what team he's on, I'm so glad he's on the Dodgers. And we're gonna have him for a while. And I just think he is a very, very valuable player. So I think that's why I think he's gonna win the MVP.
He's one of the few true 5-tool players in baseball. He can do everything at the highest level.
Fact.
He had a down year by Mookie Betts standards last year, but that's still a good year for anybody else. He's definitely could bounce back. Logan, you were smirking a little bit throughout that pick. Was that just because of Brent?
No, I had Brent. Do you know what a 5-tool player is?
Yeah, he's got 5 tools.
He can do it all, basically.
He's the best player in the MLB.
That's
you think
not true.
Mookie Betts is?
Defensively, yes, and I think
Well,
overall player, yes.
at least say defensively before you say that.
What about
Yeah,
Kevin
yeah.
Pillar, Brent?
It's facts.
Nah, Kevin Pillar's mid, bro, but he's good.
This guy.
Just said we
He's
should
good,
start
he's
Kevin
good.
Pillar over like
That was me.
3
That was
all-stars.
me.
Alec, NL MVP.
I got a Dodger, but it ain't Mookie Betts.
Oh,
All
no,
right.
I'm
no,
going
no.
with Walker Bueller. I'm
Whoa.
seeing a Cy
Hey.
Young MVP season out of Walker Bueller this year.
Was he gonna win the Silver Slugger too?
He might. He
That's-
really
If
might.
Kevin Pillar is DH4, maybe.
DH4.
You have to have a damn good season to win MVP as a pitcher. So you must think very highly of Walker this year.
I think this year is gonna be his year. Kershaw's done it, and I think he's
Kershaw
gonna
has done it.
he's the next Kershaw. You know, I see him
Wow.
coming out and just destroying this year. So it's something I want to see. You know, I want to see a Cy Young MVP. I think that's always fun, and I'd love for it to be the Dodgers. So
Yeah.
Um,
What, Logan?
I have a question
problem?
about what is the Silver Slugger going to be? Like, is there going to be a pitcher Silver Slugger award? Is that just going to go to Shohei?
Probably not. It probably won't be
Shoot,
because they have a
Just gone
DH.
now.
They have a DH Silver Slugger, but
Okay.
yeah,
there's no pitcher Silver Slugger anymore. I don't think. Let's move on to the American League MVP. You want to go? Oh, I
my
wonder
God.
what.
No, we already
Logan's
heard it.
is.
We already heard it.
That's why I want to go. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I know nobody else is going to pick him, but he's my man. He's my favorite player. I'm going
My
with
rock, my
the little
bottom.
short man, Jose Ramirez.
Hey,
What he's amazing, Alec.
I take offense to saying short man. Come on.
Jose Ramirez is, I think, pretty overlooked for how good he is. He's the best third baseman in the league, and I don't really think there's an argument for anybody else. He's finished top 3 in MVP 3 of the last 5 years. Last year, he finished 6th. He's constantly up there. He is solid defensively, and his offense is just always very, very good. He's fast. He steals bases. He hits home runs. Just any statistical category you want to look at, he's always there. He's always really good at it. Well, yes, Brett.
I want to go next.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he's just the face of the Guardians right now, and I really, really hope we don't trade him.
They're in extension talks. I don't know if you've seen that, but
Yeah, I'm really hoping he stays. We don't get a lot of people to stay, so
spend your damn money.
hey,
Your
I
owners
would
have
if I
plenty.
could.
Your owners got plenty of
Yeah.
it.
it's this crazy thing where I don't have a say in that.
You should write them.
Yeah, you should send them a letter.
You think they'd listen?
The
Maybe.
Dolans.
But yeah, I mean, another 5-tool player, I guess.
He is
But
a
he's
5-tool.
just really, really solid at everything. And I mean, he's been so close to getting MVP so many times. I think he can get it.
Yeah, he'll. I feel like it's almost confirmed that he'll be up there, which is crazy to say, but he'll be in the running as
On
long
my
as he's
fantasy
healthy.
team too.
All right, Brent, you so badly wanted to go next.
My boy, Spencer Torkelson.
Oh,
You guys are You guys don't understand how good this guy is at baseball.
This will be the greatest prediction of all
Yeah,
time.
if it happens. What are you doing?
No,
Doing
I just
research?
respect him. Me?
I guess you already said what you needed to say about Spencer Torkelson.
You know how much I love this man.
Oh yeah, it's clear.
Have I ever showed you my Spencer Torkelson poster that stands for here?
You don't
No.
have a Spencer Torkelson
I
poster.
swear to God, right? It's like right there.
You can show it. You can just turn your camera.
Not today.
He's gonna get like a fat head of Spencer Torkelson.
I could see
I
it.
am.
That'd be pretty good.
All right, that's very, very, very bold. If you put $5 down on that, you'd be a rich man at the end of the season.
I'll put 30 on it.
Wow.
All right, Alec, AL MVP.
I'm gonna go with. I'd say this is kind of a is a basic answer, but I'm feeling it. Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah,
I think it's just I don't know how you can, if he has what he did last season and if he gets any bit better, I don't think there's anyone that stands in his way. He like barely missed it with Shohei
That was unfair.
last year.
yeah.
So
he would
I
have won
think-
it in any other year if it weren't Shohei.
Yeah, so I'm thinking this year's gonna be the year. I think he's at least gonna do it just as good. And like I said, if he does any bit better, I think it's you can't go wrong with that pick.
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, he was almost the Triple Crown winner last year. I'm gonna go with a guy that I'm high on in his career and projecting, but I think he gets started early with an MVP this year. I have Wander Franco coming out and winning
Wow.
the American League MVP. Dude, he's 21 years old, and I think it's almost like it's not ridiculous to say that he's guaranteed he's going to win an MVP in his career.
Not ridiculous to say that.
It's not. He can do everything on the baseball field. Another 5-tool guy. And it may be a bit of a long shot this season, but dude, I'm rocking with him. I really like Wander Franco. He's shown that he can do it all. He got accustomed to the majors last season. Like he had his at bats. And I feel like with young guys like that, it's so important just to get experience. And it's all part of a learning curve. And his learning curve was pretty short last year. And then he went on that stretch where he got on base like 40 games in a row. And he was the former #1 prospect. The Rays are going to be a good team. I think he goes crazy this year. Thanks for the thumbs up, Brent. Let's go. Those are our awards. Those are our division picks. Last up, we have our World Series matchup and prediction. Brent, you are all right. Brent, you want to go first or no?
No.
No. Okay.
Wait, what was the question? Which one was it? Which one were we
World
on?
Series matchup and prediction. I'll go first. I have the Los Angeles Dodgers coming out of the National League. Logan, stop acting all frustrated. It's
It wasn't.
and then out of the American League, I have the Blue Jays coming out. I really like them this year. I think they're one of the most talented teams in baseball. I have the Dodgers beating the Blue Jays in 6 games in the World Series this season. Anybody else want to go next?
Oh, do we need the win?
No, you don't have to. I just did.
Well, I'll
Yes.
go next, I guess. Mainly just because you said exactly what I was gonna say. I have the Dodgers and Blue Jays. Even though I don't have the Blue Jays winning their league, I think they're gonna end up going to the World Series.
Okay.
I think they like when it comes down to it in a hot battle, I think they might have the upper hand against the Red Sox, but I think overall they might not make it. I have the Dodgers winning too. I think this team that the Dodgers have this year is like, to me, if they don't win the World Series, they should just give up as a team and become an independent ball team, because it's just like how can you mess that up? I'd say I think 6 games is definitely a reasonable something for how long it take, because it's 2 top tier teams going off against each other. So
Logan, you want to give your pick?
I was just frustrated because I think we're all gonna have the same exact pick. I'm picking the Dodgers to beat the Astros in 7.
I would love
I just want this matchup really bad.
that. Yeah.
I don't think it's that ridiculous. ask for, because I think the Astros are still really good, and I think the Dodgers are clearly the best team. But yeah, you guys kind of covered it. I just think the Dodgers are way better than anybody else.
Brent?
I think the Dodgers Blue Jays is what I'm thinking. I think 6 games sounds about right. I would love to see the Dodgers versus the Tigers, but I don't think it's gonna happen just with
Spencer Torkelson's MVP season gonna come up short.
Oh my god.
just a tad. But I would love to see. I think it's gonna be the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays, but I really want it to be the Dodgers versus the Tigers. Like I really want it.
You should predict it then.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen. I just really want it that way.
You picked Spencer Torkelson to win MVP.
Yeah, I think he
that is
legitimately
gonna
thinks it's gonna happen.
That is gonna happen.
All right.
And Rookie of the Year.
Well,
Yep.
I hope so.
And Silver Slugger.
MVP, not Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a Triple Crown winner.
Dang,
I
following
don't
in
think
Miggy's footsteps.
I-
All right. Those are all our predictions we had down. Anybody else have any other bold predictions? Brent, any other wild things to say? About the Tigers.
Spencer
think
Torkelson is really good.
I wouldn't have expected you to think that at this point.
What were you gonna
Me
say,
neither.
Logan?
I think the Guardians are going to have a winning season.
That is bold.
You know, they finished 80 and 82 last year. They're not garbage. So
I think the
I
Yankees.
England
think-
baseball team.
I think the Yankees finished 4th in their division.
I
wow.
think the Orioles in the next 3 years are going to be on top.
Now that's bold.
It is.
I just feel it. I feel it.
All right. That's it. Thank you all for coming out. Brent, Alex, special thank you. Give it up. Great job, guys. You did phenomenal. Hope maybe we'll have you guys on in a later episode.
I mean, we're better than Logan. Logan messed up 2
I got
times.
excited, okay?
Logan, can you name some National League teams and some American League teams real quick?
I don't know what the National League is, if I'm being honest.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, barely. All right. Thank you so much for listening. If you got this far, listening, watching, really appreciate it. Brent, Alec, got anything to say to Karen and Chris are probably watching.
Hello,
Hi, Karen. Hi,
everybody.
Chris.
Jason.
Mom.
Now,
And
Hi, Dad.
Jason.
goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening. This has been the World of Sports podcast. And for our guests, Alec, Cavazos, and Brent Hyman, and for my co-host, Logan Ring, my name is Diego Sandoval, signing off.
Signing off.
Oh, yeah.